Greetings, Jamaicans. I want to speak to mainly the children's advocates and all well-thinking Jamaicans. In particular, Mrs. Diane Gordon Harrison. Mrs. Harrison, this is a 4-page document coming out of your office from one of your legal personnel. And I have a copy of this in my hands from the 27th of June. And what this is a complaint, as you would know. And as I said, I have this in my hand from June, and the legal person, after their summary and finding, they were requesting from the principal of Cambridge High School for the child to repeat grade 11 for the new school year. And up to when I spoke with your legal person in the last week of September, she was yet to get a response from the school. I'm Marilyn, and I'm from Western Jamaica. And to be more precise, Southern St. James, Cambridge Retrieve. And that community would fall in MP's Kellier's constituency. Now, when a principal can get up and accuse a child and turn him out, don't come back, accuse him of breaking something, damaging camera. Camera wasn't working at the time. I know that question is going to be asked. The surveillance camera wasn't working. She just merely accused him and turned him out behind my back. It's my child. He's not a perfect child, but I know my child. And when he explained to me what happened, I wrote a letter, give him to take to the school, asking the principal to allow him to do his end of year exam. He would have been in grade 10 while she conduct a proper investigation, and this was not done. I do a follow-up by going to the school the 23rd of June last year, 2016. And I spoke at length with the vice principal, Mr. Hay. And speaking with him, it was even more clear that the child didn't break the camera. The principal now, Mavis Hamilton, Cambridge High, she was adamant I pay for the camera, or no school. And she was good to her words. The new school year sent out the child. She turned him away again. Child didn't get to go back into school until the 15th of November 2016. And this was after I get through to Senator Reid via text message one Sunday night, somewhere 11 p.m. And all he did was enough for the child to be dumped back into school. I say dumped because a grade 11 missed out. A grade 11 missed out on the first part of the semester. You missed everything. Work experience, no chance to sign up for a CSEC. You missed everything. So you would be there just killing time. So that's the conclusion of the OCA office. So they request the child, and that was what I wanted also. That was what I wanted, for the child to, the Ministry of Education to intervene so the child could repeat grade 11. Nobody talked to me. Why would we have somebody like Mitchell Walden Pinnock at the head of ministry in Region 4? This is, from where I sit, this is a monster in sheep clothing. Why would a director keep a child out of school? This letter was written to her from the 9th of September. And she said I was to pay for the camera or send the child elsewhere. She have no interest in knowing if the child did the crime or not. I'm to pay for the camera or send the child elsewhere. Now, I'm in my 50s. And I'm a citizen of Jamaica by birth. And you accuse my child, turn him out behind my back, and then I'm to gallop to these people to pay for something that they can use against my child down the road. That he didn't do, because if I pay, then that means I'm accepting guilt on his path. And you yet to prove to me, give me the evidence that he did what you said he did. And these powerful women have the power to keep my child out of school. Diane Gordon Harrison. This is what I expect of you to shout out and make the nation know what is happening to our youths in Western Jamaica. Montego Bay, Cambridge, Salt Spring, Granville, them place there, Little Pot, Bickerstead, all of them place there where they make news recently. When you turn a 15-year-old boy out of school, ask Herbert Gale, Dr. Herbert Gale, the possibilities, the negative possibilities that this can lead to. The long-term impact that this may lead to. This is what Miss Gordon Harrison, I expect you to be shouting about. Journalism, from where I sit, let me ask, is there fearless factual journalism in Jamaica? I'm speaking about this from June of last year. I was on the air September 14th and 15th speaking to Arville Taylor and Clive Mullins respectively. And no journalist here, my cry, to jump on it, the way this mother flogging her child with a machete get exposure. What I understand from this mother, I'm not condoning the way she go about administering punishment to the child. But I can see that she wants some good out of the child. She was careful with that machete. That child didn't even get a bruise from what I was looking at. But looking beyond the slapping, the way she was dressed, the surroundings, we shouldn't be surprised that somebody from that settings would get frustrated and hit out on a child like that. But at the end of the day, I call it tough love. I understand it. What I don't understand is this principal, Mavis Hamilton from Cambridge High School, and the director from Region 4, Montego Bay, Michelle Pinnock, and Patricia Horton, who I spoke with Thursday, September 8th, who told me that ministry cannot tell school what to do. Who is in charge here? What secret does Michelle Pinnock have for Montego Bay, or I would say Jamaica on a whole, that's people afraid to speak out? I notice anybody I reach out to get assistance in helping me to get the child back into school without buying his rights. They have interest until they reach Dr. Pinnock's name. when they realize that I have already spoken to her, they lose interest. This woman is the niece of the late Sir Howard Cook. She was also the principal of Shamshop Teachers College, and before her, her mother. So she would have well be known by teachers, lawyers, judges. So is this the reason why people avoiding embarrassment to embarrass her or feel embarrassed in confronting her the way she handled an issue like this at the expense of my child and God knows how many other? So I'll ask the question, is this extortion in the school? Scamming? Are these women lovers of themselves? Is it obia? You have to destroy a young life in order to keep your position that you definitely, obviously not qualified for? Arrogance? Politics? Or is it some dissociative disorder these people are suffering from? Some psychological problem? Whatever it is, these women are still in their position. Mavis Hamilton continued in the new school year as the principal of Cambridge High. Michelle Pinnock continues as the director of Ministry of Education. Diane Gordon Harrison, this is what I expect you to be shouting about. Bring to the authorities' attention, to the Governor General attention, to the Prime Minister's attention, to the Attorney General attention, to the Minister of Justice attention, to the Minister of National Security attention. That mother disciplining her child with a machete, it look bad because she used a machete. But I don't see the long-term negative impact it will have on society. Compare to 15-year-old youths being turned out of school. Speak to Dr. Herbert Gale on that, unless you think he's not credible. Unless you think he's not credible. Think about the long-term possibilities, negative impact. These actions from Mavis Hamilton, Patricia Harden, and Michelle Pinnock can lead to where our youths are concerned. Some may not stay on the street to wash windscreen or pickpockets. Some may excel to a teacher or a policeman. Any form of occupation. But that psychological impact, think about it. You be turned out of school for something you did not do. And you fight and you excel. But the damage is already done. Probably that's how some husbands end up abusing the wives and girlfriends. The rogue cops. Probably it's revenge, but we don't know. These are the things that need to be discussed to stop. You see the daily headlines in the Western Mirror. Mayhem. And you turn out a 15-year-old like that. In that environment. For what? And then Gordon Harrison. Neither the school nor the director have the courtesy to respond to your legal person in your office. These are the monsters we're supposed to be highlighting. I saw a mother issuing out tough love to her daughter. What are these educators doing to our youths, to our boys in Western Jamaica? That is what needs to be addressed. That is what needs to address. My experience with them is a recipe for a massacre. It could be a massacre, you know. My child is in that school from 2012. And I've never been calling for any disruptive behavior. He have never been suspended. His report's conduct is good, fair, and satisfactorily. And yet he was accused and turned out of school. These are the issues need to be addressed, Diane Gordon Harrison. Where is journalism, fearless, factual journalism in Jamaica? Faye Ellington, Earl Maxam, Libby Simit, Dan Jackson Miller, Michael Sharp, Emily Shields. Emily Shields, I'll give you credit. I spoke to you the 2nd of March, Thursday, the 2nd of March, 2017. And you told me you didn't believe me. And you were calling out the principal, Mavis Hamilton, you need to speak to her. My credit ran out. I called back the station, I give your producer my 2-cell number and my full name. There was no follow-up. I understand you not believing, because if this wasn't my experience, I wouldn't have believed it either. I wouldn't have believed it either. These are the things that needs to be addressed to make front page. Show up people like Patricia Harton. Don't tell me the ministry can't tell school what to do. Well, from where she sits, she must know. Mavis Hamilton, Mitchell Pinnock. Mitchell Pinnock seems to have shares in just about everything. Because I don't understand why people shine away. I speak to a reverend, the reverend tell me I can't win. I didn't know that I have a game. Nobody willing to help. When I called Cambridge Police, I called them from the 27th of June, the Wednesday night. And as a matter of fact, it was that officer who suggested that I go to the school and speak with the vice principal, which I'm happy for that, thanks officer. Because if I didn't do that, if I've spoken to the principal before, chances are I wouldn't get a chance to speak with Mr. Hay. And then I probably would be in doubt. I wonder if my son telling me the truth. So I give thanks for that. But I went back there June 30th to make a formal report about the accusation against my child. And I literally had to raise my voice for them to put something in their diary. They said it's not their case because the school did not make a formal complaint. Why should it be their case? Why it should reach their case? Based on what I was saying as a mother, why they couldn't pick up the phone and call ministry? Or call the school and say, if what this mother is saying, the child needs to be in school. I stopped at the CDA office. They said it wasn't their case. Why it should have to reach their case? Why they couldn't get involved and call the ministry? Why yellow caution tape of a draw? A child kills somebody or being killed by someone. I choose to write and make phone calls and talk. That's why it does not get the attention that it's supposed to get, because no blood, no run. And that is the concept that needs to change. I have thoughts. I have no control over my thoughts. And tell you what, they came. But I'm in charge of them. I'm in charge of my action. What about the parent that is going to think of taking the law in his or her hands and take a machete and go up by the school, go defend our child's rights or his child's rights? Then that would get the attention. You see how we fail, we are failing our youths. You see how the system are failing our youths. They have to die first. Be heard first physically before advocates speak out for them. That's not good. And that needs to stop. Mavis Hamilton, Mitchell Pinnock, Patricia Harton. When Audley Gordon was appointed the head of NSWA, critics question was he qualified for the position. I don't know. But from where I'm sitting, I'm making a suggestion here. Dr. Mitchell Walden Pinnock is qualified. Make a switch. Send Mr. Gordon to the Ministry of Region 4 Montego Bay and ask Mitchell Walden Pinnock to be the head of NSAA. Make Mavis Hamilton principal of Cambridge High School her second. Patricia Harton, the supervisor, to go around Jamaica and ensure that the country is clean. Because if these women failed, then all Jamaicans would see that they failed. It wouldn't be at the detriment of our young youths in Western Jamaica. I think they are more fitting in that position, because everybody would see and cry out for the country to be kept clean. Nothing would not hide, like how, to me, some media personnel, it would appear, hiding, covering this woman that's supposed to be considered a powerful woman, performing for a charity. She could be one of them. Treating the youths like these, somebody you have met. I spoke with Mitchell Walden Pinnock for the first time September 9, and I met her in person for the first time October 13, 2016. And after coming back from Kingston, yes, Miss Bertrand Hill, you sent me back to the doctor. And she even threatened me, and I did not realize that it was a threat at the time, because I think we were at an understanding page where she promised the child should be back in school by the 18th of October. And yet the child spent 4 additional weeks out of school. Diane Gordon Harrison and Children's for other advocates for children. This is the thing you need to bring to the attention of the head of state. These are the things need to be corrected. And if we correct these things, we may not need zone of special operation. I would like to fight these women, not with a machete, but in the courts. I can't do it on my own. I need an attorney, which I cannot afford. And although you, Mr. Chuck, told me that the court is there, I went there, Mr. Chuck. And my case cannot be filed over the counter. I definitely need an attorney. I was told. Look how swift, look how quick that video came out, and that parent was arrested and charged. And you hear the possible fines she could face. Something that does not have a long-term negative impact on the country. Look at it. And look what powerful women in the school, Principal Mavis Hamilton, Mitchell Walden Pinnock, Ministry of Education, is doing to our youths. Patricia Harton, Ministry cannot tell school what to do. Who is in charge here? That is what needs to be addressed for us to have a better Jamaica. I rest my case. Thank you.